Today's show. I'm your host, Christopher Power. Our guest today is the amazing founder and coach, John Stevens from Act with Purpose. To get you back on your track, John, I was bugging you about becoming a talent manager and representing people.
There we
But
go.
to your point where productions are calling you to say, hey, you have this hand in hand, this connection with persons of disabilities and, uh, I don't know how else to say that, this market of it, um, they can really just reach out to you and say, hey, we're looking for, as you said earlier, a person who's a wheelchair user. We don't know where to look. We don't know who to ask. Let's call John.
Yeah, and so that's happening more and more frequently, which is exciting. Number one, I'm excited not just to have my name attached to it. What I'm excited about is the fact that there's more opportunities. So we are starting to see more and more things come down the line here that are geared for or open to persons with disabilities. Um, so in that respect, there is a new film that I'm going to be working on. And I will be working primarily on doing a lot of the casting. So
Wow.
I'm working with, you know him as well. He's a good friend of ours, Douglas Ewan
Yep.
from Ewan Productions. He's doing a wonderful film called Mame. And so I'm excited to kind of get to work on that. I'll be helping out with some of the locations, some of the recruitment, kind of working behind the scenes. But it's a beautiful film, really, really interesting, totally different concept. If I had to, my personal take on it, I don't know if Douglas would really appreciate this, but my personal take on it is that it's kind of like The Devil Wears Prada meets Blade Runner. So,
All right. Yeah. Okay.
so it's got a definite LGBTQ 2S plus sort of a feel to it as well. And it's also really body positive, which I'm really excited
Okay.
about because the models that will be in the film are of all different types of shapes and sizes and that sort of thing. And it's really it's a fantastic commentary on what we're putting importance on.
When you talk about representation as you do there, it's it's neat when you're watching a show or you're really into a binge series, and as you know, the project we did Jitters, and a lot of the feedback we got was we didn't realize that she was disabled until the second or third watch. And it was really neat when we see ourselves on television and film, and you look at that representation, but then you kind of oversee and don't really pay attention to people and markets and areas that aren't. So when you're working with Douglas here on Maine, and you're getting body positive, right? There's a huge push with Lizzo, body positive models. And then
Yep.
we look at representation, and we can call John and say, hey, we need some help with guidance of this persons with disabilities or the LGBTQ plus. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
It's been really lovely, and so I'm excited to be working on that. Um, but here's the funny thing: is like when I was a kid, I was such a wimp when it came to watching horror films, and now it seems like all I do is
Just watch horror films.
is work in horror films or thriller. So it's kind of fun. But I've got a bunch of different projects going on right now in addition to Mame. But Mame is going to be kind of a groundbreaking thing for me because I'll be working more in terms of the casting side of things, which is very cool. And so Mame is happening. I've got Pay to Die, which is a really fantastic film that's coming out. Also, Mistletoe Massacre, a couple of Christmas horror films. Nothing says Christmas like death.
I saw you posted that one on social media, and I was like, okay, Mistletoe Massacre. I'm in. Let's get her going.
And then I'm really excited about, of course, my short film that I wrote and produced, and that's Can't Escape Myself, which is in post production right now.
Wonderful.
And then there's another wonderful film by Jonestown Films down in Kentucky that I've signed on to, and that one is another horror film, and it's called um, oh God, what is it called? It's called. Holy crap! Why am I blanking out on it? It is
something.
Adam.
Guess
What is it called?
what?
Um, it is. Oh gosh, I'm going crazy. Hold on a second. Where's my?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It,
it's amazing that you have all of these projects going on, and you have like so many that you're forgetting some of them, which
I
is
know,
perfect,
right?
actually.
It's driving me insane. We'll edit this part out. Let me go and look at the name of it real quick. Um, oh my god. Phantom Fun World. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I couldn't get that out. But
So that other project is Phantom Fun World.
yes, Phantom Fun World through Jonestown Films. It's being shot. Oh my gosh, what an incredible cast! So we have the original Jason from Friday the 13th
Wow.
in it, and it is being shot in abandoned amusement park, and so it's really very. To me, it reminds me of a Scooby Doo episode. But on steroids. It's so crazy. It's so fun, and of course, just all of the elements of surprise that you can have in a fun house and in an amusement park is just incredible. So. Lots of great visuals, lots of great moments, lots of great little situations, lots of great opportunities for comedy and thrill. So yeah, so lots of really great projects happening right now.
It sounds like you're super busy with Act with Purpose and the projects that you have going on.
Yes.
Is there something kind of that you said, if I could throw one more thing in there, one more project, one more thing for John or Act with Purpose, what's the one more that you'd like to throw in?
Well, funny enough, I have had the opportunity to recently connect with a very famous Israeli actor. He's Canadian born, but he was primarily became famous in Israel. And his name is Jonathan Seagal. And Jonathan Seagal kind of made his way to fame through these really fun, kind of cheeky series called Lemon Popsicle. And then he went on to do several amazing films, including Schindler's List. And now he is making his own films and is writing and producing and directing, and he's a powerhouse. He's absolutely so brilliant on all aspects. So he's actually going to be doing a workshop at Act with Purpose and working with actors on his new screenplay. So he's just written a new project. He's in the process of getting it produced here in Canada, which may become another project for me. Who knows?
One more.
Yeah, one more. But I'm really excited to have him at Act with Purpose. He hasn't done a workshop like this. And the fact that Act with Purpose is going to be the home of where he does this is really pretty spectacular. We're very blessed. And also, just in reading through it, we did a little read through the other day, he and I, and he said, "John, why aren't you acting?" And wouldn't you know how funny things happen? An agent reached out to me a couple of days ago. I was at dinner and said, "Hey, I've got a crazy question for you. Have you ever thought about getting back into acting? Because I want to represent you." So I may start doing a little bit of acting myself and kind of dipping my toes back into that arena, which is exciting. But also, the I guess the reason why I kind of never dawned on that before or explored that was because I don't know. I had this idea in my head that if I was an acting coach and I'm coaching others, I just don't want to coach somebody who's in the same cast type as me
Fair, yeah.
for the same role and have them feel like I'm not coaching them, like the conflict of interest thing,
Right.
right? Like, how can I coach somebody on the same role that I'm going out for, and am I doing the best job? So I kind of had a little pep talk with myself, and I said, well, how many people do I have in my age category that I coach? Not that many, and most of them are not the same cast type. I don't think we would be going out for the same thing. So yeah, so I said, you know what? let's explore this. So those
Nice.
are a couple of the new projects that I'm kind of, the other sticks I'm throwing on the fire.
And everything for Act with Purpose is at actwithpurpose.com or .ca?
.ca. Yeah.
Perfect.
And then, in addition to that, I think the thing that your listeners will be very interested in knowing is that we do have the Act on Ability Foundation as well. And so, Act on Ability is going to be looking for its first 12 participants to
Oh,
go through a training program at Act on Ability, which is housed in the same studio as Act with Purpose and the Disability Channel. So, it's all in conjunction with. We are going to be putting them through a 2-weekend, 4-day, very intense training session. And then it will culminate in working and meeting with agents and casting directors across the GTA. So if you are a person with a disability and you've always thought, hey, I want to get try this whole acting thing, and you think that you might be a great representation for our community, then I would love to meet with you. You can send an email to John, John, at actwithpurpose.ca, and we will send you an application for you to fill out. And we'll be making final decisions closer towards the end of September. And it looks like Tracy and I are going to be going on morning television as well to
wow.
kind of announce this and start kind of breaking the news. It's also a great way for people to get involved if they're in the community already, if they're part of the television and film community. We want to let casting directors, agents, directors, managers, producers, writers know that we have talent that will be fully trained and ready to work on set. And so that's our next step. That's the next project.
So, out of curiosity, when we talk about persons with disabilities, the large societal norm of it is that there's a physical disability or something visual that they can just discern between you and someone else. When you talk about these acting classes in this 4-day, 2-weekend workshop, if there's somebody out there listening who says, hey, I don't have a physical disability, I have what's referred to as an invisible disability, are they still able to apply?
Absolutely. I think it's important to have a full spectrum of representation in television and film. It's not about just any one aspect. I think that there's a lot of really interesting things that can come out of it when we do include people. I have to tell you, one of the most rewarding things that I've had the opportunity to do is work with a number of actors who are dyslexic. And it might not be something that you would guess just by seeing them. But what I'll tell you is with people who see and read things differently, they have a different approach to language. And I find a lot of actors who have dyslexia or learning disabilities have fantastic acting instincts
Sure.
because they've had to find ways to survive. They've had to find ways to make it through or pass, right? And by doing so, I think they've embraced language in a very complex and different way from neurotypical
Mhm.
people. And so that's been something that's been really, really, really rewarding. And also working with people who are developmentally different, I have had the best time really getting to know the capabilities because I think that's the thing is so many people when they hear disability, they focus on the thing that you can't do. But when I'm working with people with disabilities, I really find the word to be kind of a conundrum because um, I really see just a completely different outlook. And to me, it's exciting. It's a benefit. It's not something that is a deficit in any way, shape, or form. It's actually something that lends to a really unique perspective. And isn't that what we want when we're watching entertainment? Is to see things through a different lens and to understand things in a different way. Um, so that's why I love working with persons with disabilities.
That's beautiful. I have time for one more question for you, John.
Sure.
What makes John Stevens smile?
Oh my gosh, seeing other people succeed. That is like the best thing. I have to talk about one of my. So I also consult for another company because I wasn't busy enough. But I work with a really amazing casting director, and he was a casting director and a manager for many, many, many years. Joe Lorenzo out of Los Angeles, and we kind of created this system here in Canada, and it's really worked beautifully. And I have to give a shout out to Kermaya, who is one of our students, and she went through some online training. She got an agent, and within a week of getting her agent, she was on set for a major television series. So there are some really wonderful things that are happening. And so, like to me, watching her succeed so quickly and so beautifully, and I know this experience of not just the training and being on set and everything, but the entire experience as a whole has changed this young woman's life forever. This
Beautiful.
changed her trajectory, and just in the most beautiful way. And so for me, that's where I get my joy, is knowing that like this person's life is forever changed, and it came from acting, you know?
That's awesome.
And if I look at my life and I look at the blessings that I've had, they all came from the world of acting, from the multitude of incredible instructors I've had the opportunity to work with, the productions I've had the opportunity to be a part of, and the learning that I've had. I mean, it's not all about me coaching. Trust me, I have learned so much from being around fantastic directors, producers, writers. And I've also learned, some pretty tough lessons about being around people that, are unscrupulous and not the way I want to do business. So it's a way of kind of just finding again balance and being thankful for every experience I've had, both negative and positive, because everything has led me to where I am today. And I could not be happier than being here with you, working with persons with disabilities, working with the Disability Channel, working with so many wonderful people. So thank you for all the work you guys do. And I hope we get some of your listeners applying to Act on Ability Foundation. And if you want more information on that, that's at www.actonability.ca.
That's beautiful. Make sure you guys check out actonability.ca. Register with John Stevens over at actwithpurpose.ca. Remember to smile, to inspire, and have a fantastic day. This has been The Today Show.